Welcome to Apaga University. I'm Inga.
And I'm Julie. We are two
momtrepreneurs
who have built an in-home care business from the ground up, guided every step of the way by God's care and fueled by agape love.
16 years later and over 100 podcast episodes already under our belts, we invite you to continue on this journey with us as we share stories that resonate, insights that inspire, and practical guidance that empowers you to face any obstacle along this path.
Whether you're a professional caregiver, a family member, or are simply curious about what your steps will be when you need them, you have come to the right place.
Oh, hey, and while you're here, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
And after that, make sure you send this to a friend.
Yes, do it. All right, we'll quit fooling around and get to it.
Let's go. Class is in session.
Hello, Sunshines, and hello, Julie.
Well, good morning, Inga.
Nice spectacles, by the way.
Thanks.
I love the red.
The red? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows by the time this goes out where we will be with snow, but as of this current recording, no snow on the ground.
Yeah. What was worse, though, was in November when we were having rain.
Oh, ugh.
That was the worst. It got so muddy at my place, and we were trying to haul calves. It was just a rodeo.
Yes.
More than usual rodeo.
It did prompt for my family the swift kick in the ass that we've needed to get some gravel in on our driveway, which will probably now lose, at least 50% of it into nothingness.
We still haven't got around to that, but we need to do it too.
We were driving through lakes to get, oh my gosh, crazy, just awful. And so, it's only been 10 years that it's been needed, or maybe not quite that
you
yet.
You did
but
it.
8 years.
Yay.
Like, I think it's finally time when you basically lose your car on the, the last 50 feet to get to your house. Oh my God, I'm going to need a rescue boat to get out of here if this car stalls out. It's bad. Yeah, I am not a fan of the rain. I'm like, snow and be cold.
Yeah.
Or have the sun out and be warm.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be hot, just warmish.
Yeah.
Wet, my least favorite. Do not like it at all.
Yeah.
Because then on the farm, it just stinks.
Yeah.
And then it sticks to everything.
I was so
and then,
worried about my babies getting sick.
Oh, I know.
Just as we were sending them to auction, and I just didn't want.
Please don't get sick. I know, because it just, and then when the animals are in it, constantly trampling, then it's just this quagmire. Yeah. Anyway, you guys didn't come for that for this show. Okay, moving on.
Well, you asked.
I know. I did too. I don't know what I asked, but here we are. Verse of the week. This is Psalm chapter 4, verse 8. It says, "In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety."
Yes.
I got to tell you, I've been having a lot of those. I've been overthinking at night, and I'm like, and the moment you switch from, why am I talking to myself and running all of these? Why am I not talking to the Lord so that I can lie down in peace and safety? The minute I switch my thought process, just drift off.
It's a big deal.
It is huge.
But
and
you have to work on yourself to get there.
It literally, you can feel it lift off of you, and you're like, oh, what am I doing? Why do I think I'm in control of any of these things? Right?
Exactly. Well, I picked that verse because of the safety component. Today, we're going to be talking about some safety things that you can do in your home.
Yep.
And with that, I was just like, we have to just understand exactly what you're saying is we're not in control anyway.
Right.
But maybe we can help ourselves a little bit.
Yes.
By learning how to give peace.
Safety is a thing.
It's a thing.
Yes. Well, tell us about your good news story.
This is so funny. My husband has been having a fit because his Stanley thermos, the topper, has broke.
Oh.
So anyway, he continues to use it until we find a stopper. So for Christmas, he's getting a Stanley, but there's none around. Even at Walmart, I had to go the other day, and they don't have them till 2.5 weeks from now. And they're only bringing 5 in. And all I want is an old-time Stanley coffee thermos.
Like the OG looking ones.
Yeah, the good ones, the good solids. Well, anyway, so this happened where this Stanley thermos survives a car fire. So listen, so this guy, this lady, her car started on fire and it burnt up. And after everything cooled down and everything, she went in with her camera to take pictures of everything. And there was one thing that was totally undamaged, and it was her Stanley thermos.
What?
And so everyone's so concerned about if the Stanley spills, but what if it melts? She asked. She had her fire. It still had its ice in the Stanley thermos. The firestorm of comments, people on social media just went crazy about it. And so what the Stanley company did is, we've all seen your video. Wow, what an ordeal. And we're all really glad you're safe. And so what we're going to do is we're going to send you a whole bunch of different Stanleys. And one more thing, it says, we've never done this before and we'll probably never do it again, but we'd love to replace your vehicle as well.
Oh my Lord.
Because with that video that went on TikTok,
the traction for Stanleys.
84 million shares and 60,000 comments. So it was pretty cool for Stanley to step up with all that free advertising.
Yeah, no kidding.
But so anyway, they talk about the story of Unbreakables, and there's a picture of it. So there's another story that when Dave planned to, for example, Dave plans to be buried in his Stanley thermos, which he bought 10 years ago, and has used it as a construction worker. And then there was even a story about where a bullet deflected a robbery in Peru. But this is a crappy picture because it's black and white, but it's just standing there. Oh my! And in the picture, it's actually the same color. I mean, it's the color.
Wow.
The color didn't melt off of it or anything. Stanley and cups. This isn't the thermos that I need.
Right.
But this is like one of those sippy cup big ones.
Yeah. Those are a thing,
We'll have to put that on the show notes. But it is insane to me.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Wow. That
still had the ice in it.
That's crazy. Yeah. Well, I found this. It's called Gratitude's Gifts Go Well Beyond Thanksgiving. And basically, I just thought this was so meaningful. And so even when we talk about the verse earlier, gratitude is just an amazing thing.
Yep.
And it's hard to have any other emotion when you're focused on gratitude, right?
Right.
So there was a pastor in Auburn, Washington, reminding people of all faiths to hold on to feelings of gratitude well beyond Thanksgiving, and to understand that doing so can bring a sense of peace, help lead healthier living, and act as a bulwark against rushing tides of stress and challenge. Pastor Jesse Bradley, who runs the Grace Community Church outside of Seattle, shared with Fox News a list of 10 common sense truths about gratitude and why it's important, especially during this holiday season, but really at any time of the year. He said it needs to be a priority, especially in the midst of challenging times and tragedy. Bradley is married and a father of 4 and has overcome health challenges of his own in his life. After a serious illness some years ago, he fought back and found his way from actually a pro athlete to a faith leader, a husband and a father. Basically his 10 key points about gratitude. Number 1, he says, gratitude is a greater motivator than fear and worry. Gratitude is continuous throughout the day, while giving thanks just lasts for a short time. So, right, having a gratitude, they say like the attitude of gratitude.
Right.
Gratitude is greater than our challenges and gives us the right perspective during difficult days. Gratitude honors God and the people around us. Gratitude keeps our minds out of the ditch and protects us from over-focusing on what we don't have. It helps us to avoid jealousy and envy. Yeah. Gratitude is contagious, and it inspires people wherever you go. Gratitude strengthens relationships and leads to new collaboration. Gratitude is always wise and healthy for our bodies, minds, and soul. Gratitude can never be stopped or taken away from us. And gratitude brings healing to families, cities, and even nations.
Awesome.
I don't know. Gratitude is a thing. That's the other thing that I really try to focus on when I'm having a struggle.
You want to be thankful for everything, yet that's more short-lived than being grateful for everything.
Yeah, I think just the oh, thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you for this, whatever in the moment, but this gratitude that you feel as a whole.
We need to all work on that more.
Yes.
Yay.
True. Awesome. Anyway, so work on that, people.
Work on it.
Attitude of gratitude.
Inga, I'm so grateful for you.
I am so grateful for you too.
There we go.
I'm grateful to be back at the table.
Once again, we need to have a shot on her occasionally. That face she gives me.
Yes.
She's like, really?
Really? So, Julie, today we're actually going to be talking about like medical or alert systems.
Yes. it's a big question I get when I do a home visit. Which medical alert system should I use? Problem is there's a million different products out there.
Yeah.
And so as I was thinking about that, and I just have to tell people, you have got to research it.
Yeah.
There are some that work better if you're more rural. Money, how much are you going to be able to spend on a subscription a month? All of the things.
Well, and I think even what's your risk level, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So some people are going to
need. Do we even need one? Will the person use it?
Yeah.
Do they want to use it in a necklace style, or do they want to have it as a bracelet? We're going through that with my grandma right now. She's being very naughty.
Yeah.
It's not going to be pretty, so she doesn't want to wear it. But the thing is this, if you're alone and you're walking with your wheelchair or your walker and you use your cell phone and you think, I'm safe, I have my cell phone. But if you fall, where is your phone going to go? It's going to go 20 feet past you.
Yep.
And so then you're laying there and you thought you were safe and you're not. But if you have something around your neck or you have a bracelet on that you can hit, then you're that far ahead.
Yes. And I think they do continue to make new options for people.
Unbelievable.
It's just like when you think about cell phones, when they first started, they were just these big, bulky, yucky things.
Exactly.
But as it's gone on, now they're just sleek and stylish.
Yeah.
And so there's hope for Patsy. There's got to be something out there that
I don't think so. It's a mental thing. It's
Yeah.
mental. People are prideful and they don't want to admit that they might need help.
Yeah.
But man, it's just, you don't need it until you need it.
It's all good until it isn't.
Right?
Always.
Exactly. Yeah. But as you're saying, with all of the, they're coming up with new stuff all the time. We're going to touch on a couple of things that I didn't even know they had anymore. So cool.
The short and long of how this medical alert system works, it's designed to provide quick and easy assistance to individuals who may need urgent medical attention.
Mm-hmm.
It works through a combination of a wearable device and a centralized monitoring system.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the button on your wearable device, a medical alert system includes a wearable device like a pendant or a bracelet, which is the emergency button.
Mm-hmm.
This button is easily accessible and can be pressed by the user in case of an emergency. It serves as a quick and convenient way to send a distress signal for help.
Yep. So then it goes to whoever is monitoring this medical alert, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when the emergency button is pressed, a distress signal is transmitted to a monitoring center staffed by trained professionals who are available around the clock. They receive the signal and then they will promptly assess the situation. The monitoring center serves as a centralized hub for emergency response, ensuring that help is just a call away at any time of the day or night.
Right. While you're waiting,
Mm-hmm.
it says to remain calm and wait for the help to arrive. Don't try to keep breathing, keep cool, calm, collected.
Yes.
Once notified, appropriate medical professionals will arrive to assess the situation and take care of your needs. If they determine that you need to go to the hospital, they will transport you there fast. Rapid response under an hour is important because you'll experience faster treatment and recovery time. Also, quickly addressing medical issues can reduce medical bills.
Mm-hmm. So some of the things that that you can get with these packages, and I think it's important to say that these things are all subscription based, right? So there is going to be a cost involved in it, and you can add on. It's probably like a cell phone or whatever. You can add on to your subscription just based on what you need. So one of the things that is offered would be this automatic fall detection.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a button, and it can be very, very vital for a lot of reasons. First, it enables immediate response to emergencies by detecting the fall and automatically alerting caregivers or emergency services. The swift intervention reduces a delay in receiving assistance and increases the chance of early medical intervention, minimizing the potential complications that can be associated with falls, because you don't know, you might bump your head and you might not be alert or able, or you might fall in a position that you can't press your button yourself. So this is an important thing.
And how many people and how many stories have we heard where somebody has laid on the floor for
a long time,
days,
long time,
hours.
Yes. And then the residual effects of that. I mean, we had a situation where one of our people, we had cared for him, and then he thought he had rehabbed to the point that it wasn't necessary to have that much care. He had a fall, laid on like the radiant heat floor, and ended up with burns because he was there for 10 to 12 hours before anyone found him.
Yeah.
Anyways, Secondly, another positive to this, it provides an added layer of security and peace of mind. Individuals, especially the elderly or those with mobility issues, can feel confident in their safety. They can know that help's going to be summoned, even if they are unable to activate their alert manually. The feature can alleviate anxiety and promote independent living, and it also gives reassurance to family members or other caregivers.
Well, I was just going to say, there are times that actually maybe even if money is an issue for your elder, maybe the kids all pitch in and do it, because if they don't live in the same town or the same state as their mom and dad, just knowing that somebody can be there within X amount of time can make them have peace of mind, like you're saying, peace of mind to know that somebody will be there.
Yep, because basically that early fall detection is going to contribute to the overall improved outcome of it, right? So quick identification is going to allow medical professionals to promptly assess the individual's condition, provide appropriate care. Early intervention can prevent complications, reduce hospitalizations, and facilitate faster recoveries.
Yeah.
And then also, the collected data can be analyzed to identify patterns and risk factors, and that helps enable proactive measures to prevent future falls.
Nice.
So we have this Medicaid program where we have, serious occurrence reporting, and I always, I never had thought through completely what are we actually doing with this? What are we trying to? Right. Well, we had a client that we were finally, through all of these serious occurrence reportings, we were able to go back and analyze that data and say, this is what's happening. And it turned out to be a medication issue.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. This is the cool thing that I was excited about, the wall button. And I don't know that I had known that they'd come out with these yet. So basically, the medical alert accessory that most people like the most are wall buttons. These are useful for individuals who don't want to wear a button, but it's also for those that don't remember to put it on, because there's no sense in having your necklace or your bracelet if you're not going to wear it, right? But basically, they can be placed in convenient locations throughout the home or apartment. The most popular places are in the restroom, stairwells, and kitchens. They can also be placed in the bedroom. So the picture that they show is actually next to the faucet in the tub. That's where Grandma, when she was still living independently, was always concerned about getting in and out of the tub. Because if you're stuck in the tub, there could be a lot of repercussions if you're in there for too long. Yeah. So it's very affordable and reliable to install. You simply stick it where you want them placed. They don't have to be next to an outlet because they're battery operated. And so that's huge. Having multiple buttons in the home is recommended. And most have an extended battery life for 2 to 5 or more years.
Oh, wow.
So that's
a
big deal.
That would have to be like your smoke alarm, smoke detectors. Yes. Make sure you're checking those batteries. But that is really, really cool.
Once again, though, it's not going to help if you don't have it in the place that you fill. But that's also maybe a risk that you're willing to take because Grandma just won't remember to put on her pendant, or in our case, won't put it on because it's ugly.
Happens. So check this out. This is new to me, but it makes a lot of sense. Some like a feature that some of these companies do is actually a lockbox. That essentially, because you have that concern of, okay, someone pushes their alert button, but they're locked inside their apartment. How do they get help? Well, with this lockbox on the outside, there's a way that it can trigger and be able to allow EMTs or firefighters to be able to get into the home.
Yeah.
Through accessing a key through this lockbox.
I'll tell you what, we have a gentleman right now. He will not give even his family a key.
Yep.
So every single day when we go there, we have to call him because he'll never unlock the door. And he can't hear it, but he'll hear the phone and I'll say, hey, we're here. You need to go open the door. And there have been times that he did not feel strong enough or healthy enough to get to the door. And I'm like, well, you have to, unless you're going to give us a key. Well, I'm not giving a key to anybody. And I mean, even his own kids, he won't give a key to.
Right.
And so we keep working on him about that. The kids are on it all the time. But so far it's been okay, kind of a sketchy situation.
All good until it isn't.
Yeah, exactly right. But every single day we're like, hey, we're here at the door. You need to let us in. And that one day he said, I'm on the floor. Well, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
He goes, I'll get a key. I'll get a key. But then he didn't. So that's one that's just really, really hard-headed, and we're still working on him.
Yep. How many disasters does he have to have before he's going to be willing to?
Exactly.
But yeah, it's got to be his idea. So hopefully one morning he just wakes up and he's like, I got to get a key.
I got to get a key.
Yes. So the vial of life, I love this because we did something of a similar nature.
Right.
And we did it with the Kalispell Fire Department, right? When we drafted that form, the emergency medical information form, and we'll put a link on the show notes so people can go to that. And essentially it's just, this is a form that you can fill out that's going to provide vital information to responding EMTs when you are unable to speak for yourself. So, very, very good information. And when we sat down with the fire department, we said, what do you need to know when your EMTs go in there? Yeah. What is the first thing that you need to know to make good choices for a person that's unable to assist themselves or answer for themselves? Yeah. So,
well, and the funny thing is, funny, not funny, not just the elderly need this.
Everybody
Every
needs it.
age needs to have something somewhere that knows their wishes. One of the things that they ask in the vial of life is, who's your doctor? Who's the first person we should call? What are your allergies? Because what if they give you a medication trying to help you
that you are
is going to do the opposite?
For sure. And then basically, there's in-home systems, there's GPS enabled devices. There are just so many different options out there.
The mobile GPS is a really great thing if you have somebody that might be wandering, because they allow you to put them like in a shoe or something. That's really a big deal. And so it's one of those things. There's pros and cons to each kind.
I always think and I know this is going to sound weird, so you all already know that I'm weird, but I'm like, maybe I should GPS my kids, because what if someone ever tries to steal them, right? But that's very invasive. But at the same time, I want to know that if they ever get taken, I'm going to be able to find them.
Well, I have Callie on mine, and
I meant their person.
Oh, the body. Yeah, I got her phone. I see what you're saying.
Yes. No, we have Life 360, which is a blessing.
And hers is Find My.
Yeah.
And actually, that's the app. But actually, it helped her one time when she was at a place and somebody actually picked up her phone.
Yes.
And she was able to ping it.
Yep. And figure out where
it was at. But the actual body.
And I think that would be a little overboard.
I think that's called microchipping your pet.
I think it's frowned upon. I don't think either of my girls are going to be like, sure, microchip. Yeah, here, just until they get taken. And then they're going to be like, why didn't I listen to my mother?
Right. There you go.
She's a maniac. Oh man,
lots and lots of information on GPS mobile tracking. So I would recommend that you take time to research that if it's appropriate for your loved one.
I'm sure it's a situation too where I shouldn't say I'm sure. Is it a situation where if you have that feature, you have to be able to have cellular service,
right,
to be able to,
right?
Just a question, but definitely as you're looking into the different things that you might be interested in for your family.
Right.
Ask lots of questions. And there are many, many different companies out there that provide this type of service. So as with everything, we would say, call around and which one do you feel the best about?
Yeah. They're saying usually the fees for a service are from like $50 to $100 a month. Just depends on what kind you're going to get. You can get them at Walmart, get them online. The research that we did, actually, there's pages of it. This was the best medical alert systems of 2023. And they narrowed it down to 5. And they had very specific reasons for each of the things why they liked the one. They considered cost, ease of use, durability, all of those things. However, the next article, when I was Googling, said the 10 best. So you can make yourself go crazy with it. Sure. But what you want to do is just find out location wise where it's going to work with your abilities, remote places, again,
what you have available to you in your community.
Even cell phones, where my husband works, Verizon wasn't doing very well, so we changed him to AT&T, and I can get him in all of the little crooks and crevices of where he works out in the woods with that program versus Verizon. So we did have to make a change, and that was a pain in the keister. But, for down the road, that's actually better for him to get a hold of me at different times during the day. So that's an example of...
But is it better?
No, not necessarily, but I was trying to be nice.
I'm just kidding. Now he can reach me anytime.
Yeah, Woohoo!
Lucky me. No. So another thing just to mention with this is some of the insurance programs that we, like Medicaid, for instance.
Yep.
This is a covered service through Medicaid, and they call it PERS, which is a personal emergency response system.
Right.
So yeah, there might be, I mean, you could ask your insurance. I don't know on a Medicare front if that's anything that I've not heard that it is, but the answer is always no until you ask.
And once again, I mean, if there's 3 kids that live out of state, maybe all of them take a turn paying the monthly bill or something.
Yeah. I think it's worth like,
peace of mind.
Risk versus reward, or
peace of mind is worth $1 million.
Yeah. And I feel like you only have to press it one time in a major crisis that it's paid for itself.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And the other thing I was going to say is locally, like I think there's a little town outside of where we live that they have a system that if you call 911, they don't necessarily need to send the bells and whistles, but they'll send the firemen over to do a lift assist. So there are things that can happen where if they then deem that you're hurt, we then would take that next step.
Sure.
But I think there may be a cost to that. If so, they get to know their community quite well and the people that are home that are at risk. But once again, there's that kind of an option. So many options out there. People, once again, just need to stop and do a bunch of research.
And I think it just comes down to that ease of use in the moment, right? Is it what's going to be the easiest? Pushing a button.
Right. Oh, I agree with you a million times. Yep.
Cool. Well, I'm going to wrap up since we're short on a grant.
I have a
You have one?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm amazing.
You are too. You resemble that remark.
So this one is very funny. They call me Grandpa because partner in crime makes me sound like a bad influence.
That is great. That is wonderful.
Yes. So getting back in the swing of doing the old podcast.
Yes. It's been a delight. So peace out, Girl Scouts.
Yes. Have a good day.
The Caregiven name is a registered trademark of the Veritrust Health Incorporated Company. IPAGA is not connected to, affiliated with, or endorsed by Veritrust or any of its affiliates.